All right, everyone, welcome back for another deep dive.
Yeah, great to be here.
This time we are tackling a topic that's pretty fundamental to C-sharp programming,
Absolutely essential.
sharp collections.
That's right.
And, we're imagining our listener out there, you're prepping for that big C-sharp interview,
Oh, yeah.
and you don't want to just, spit out some memorized definition of a list or a dictionary.
You want to understand them inside and out?
You want to wow them with your deep understanding of when to use which one.
Exactly.
So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to break down some of the most common C-sharp collection types,
All right, let's do it.
and we'll look at what makes each one unique and why you'd pick one over the other in different scenarios.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah. All right, so let's start with the most basic interface, I think we could say.
Yeah. The foundation?
IEnumerable.
IEnumerable.
Now, it's often described as the most basic interface for working with collections, but
Yeah, but what does that actually mean?
what does that actually mean, in practical terms?
Right.
What's it all about?
Well, think of IEnumerable like a pipeline. Okay, so it lets you access a stream of data,
Okay.
one element at a time, but you can't change the stream itself.
Okay.
Like it says in our source material here, it does not provide methods to modify the collection.
So you're just kind of looking through the window.
Observing.
You can't touch it.
Exactly. You're not modifying anything. You're just accessing the data as is.
Right. So if you just need to read through a data set,
Yeah.
do some calculations
Analyze it.
without making any changes.
Mhm.
IEnumerable is your go-to.
It's perfect for that.
Absolutely. Okay. Now I know there's this key method in IEnumerable called getEnumerator.
Yes, that's the heart of it.
What's that all about?
Well, that method is what gives you a way to actually step through each element in the collection,
Right.
one by one, and that's what powers those familiar for each loops that we all use and love in C#.
Oh, so that's how that works.
It's the engine under the hood.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. And speaking of for each loops,
Yeah.
I mean,
Wow.
I use those all the time with lists too. So
Oh, absolutely.
does that mean lists are also IEnumerables?
They are.
Yeah.
And that's a great point because it highlights this idea of inheritance in C#.
Right.
So a list is a more specialized type of collection, but it still has that underlying IEnumerable functionality.
So it's building upon that foundation.
Exactly. Building upon it, adding more features.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
So IEnumerable, it's great for read-only access.
Mm-hmm.
But what happens when we actually need to, roll up our sleeves and
Get our hands dirty.
get our hands dirty and start modifying the collection?
Well then we step up to ICollection.
ICollection.
ICollection expands on IEnumerable
Okay.
by giving us the methods for adding elements, removing elements, and even counting how many elements we have.
So we have more control.
Much more control. You're not just observing anymore, you're interacting with the collection.
Right. So it's like IEnumerable, but with write access.
Exactly. You can both read and write to the collection.
Now, I noticed in our source material, it mentions that ICollection does not provide indexed access.
That's an important distinction.
What does that mean exactly?
It means you can't directly access an element by its position within the collection.
Oh.
So you can add or remove items, but you can't say, hey, give me the element at index 2.
Got it. So it's more about just the general contents rather than the specific positions.
Precisely.
Okay, so if we need that kind of fine-grained control over the order of elements,
Yes.
that's where IList comes in.
That's where IList shines.
IList.
IList inherits from ICollection.
Okay.
So it has all those abilities to add, remove, and count elements.
Right.
But it adds the power of indexing.
So now we're talking.
Now we can get specific, we can insert elements at specific positions
It's
or
a-
remove elements from specific positions.
So it's like having a numbered list,
Like a numbered list,
where
exactly.
you can just slot things in at any point.
And rearrange them to your heart's content.
Awesome. Okay, now let's talk about the rock star of C# collections.
The crowd favorite.
The only
IList.
everybody loves a good list,
But
right?
it's the workhorse of C# collections.
So how does this list, there's a concrete implementation.
Yeah.
Fit in with all these interfaces we've been talking about?
Well, a list actually implements all 3 interfaces we've discussed so far.
No way.
IEnumerable, ICollection, and IList.
So it's got it all.
It's got the full package, all the capabilities rolled into one.
The ultimate multi-tool.
You could say that. And what makes List particularly awesome is that it's dynamic.
Dynamic.
meaning it automatically resizes when you add or remove elements.
Oh, so you don't have to like pre-allocate a certain amount of memory or anything?
No, it handles all that for you behind the scenes.
That's convenient.
Super convenient. You just focus on adding and removing your elements, and List takes care of the rest.
And I've also seen that List has all these extra methods for like sorting the elements.
Oh, yeah. Tons of them.
Searching for specific elements.
Yeah. It's loaded with features for manipulating and working with your data.
So really is kind of the go-to choice in a lot of situations.
It's often the first collection you reach for, and for a good reason.
Okay, so List is awesome, but are there ever times when you wouldn't want to use it?
That's a great question, and the answer is yes.
Okay.
While List is incredibly versatile, there are situations where other specialized collections might be a better fit.
Like what?
Well, for example, if you're dealing with massive data sets
Okay.
and you're doing a lot of insertions or deletions in the middle of the collection,
Right.
a linked list might actually perform better.
Interesting.
Or if you need to guarantee uniqueness of elements, you might consider a set.
Ah, okay. So it's really all about choosing the right tool for the job,
Exactly.
knowing the strengths and weaknesses of each collection type.
Understanding the nuances.
So let's put this all together. Let's imagine I'm building a shopping cart feature
Okay.
for an online store.
A classic example.
So, I need to be able to add item to the cart, remove items,
Rearrange them, maybe?
rearrange them, display them in order. What collection type am I reaching for?
Sounds like List is calling your name.
List this.
You need that indexed access to manage the order of items.
Right.
The ability to add and remove elements easily.
And it can grow and shrink as needed.
Exactly. List is perfect for that.
But what if I'm just displaying like a catalog of products
Okay.
that users can't modify?
Ah, in that case,
I'm just presenting data.
yeah, you might be better off sticking with IEnumerable.
Really?
Yeah, it provides a simple and efficient way to iterate through that product data.
Okay.
Without the overhead of features you don't need, like adding or removing items.
So it's all about efficiency.
Efficiency and picking the right tool for the task at hand.
This has been incredibly helpful.
Glad to hear it.
So to recap, for everyone out there getting ready for those C# interviews,
Yes.
IEnumerable is your go-to for read-only access.
Mm-hmm.
ICollection lets you add and remove elements.
IList gives you indexed access.
And List brings it all together.
The all-star.
Dynamic resizing and a bunch of handy features.
But remember, the best choice always depends on the specific task and the size of your data.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
And don't be afraid to explore those more specialized collections as you gain experience.
Absolutely. There's a whole world out there.
A whole ecosystem waiting to be discovered.
Now that you've got this knowledge in your toolkit,
Yeah.
think about your own C# projects.
Mm-hmm.
Where might you have chosen a different collection type?
For better efficiency.
For better efficiency, for better code readability.
Sometimes it's just about making your code cleaner.
Keep experimenting. You'll become a C# Collections Pro in no time.
You got this.
Until next time.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.